In your father's day, the mecca of boxing was Madison Square Garden. I think by the 80s that had changed. The hottest place to fight was outdoors at Caesar's Palace.
Ray's exposure and stardom was just mushrooming. And for Ray to be fighting on national television outdoors at Caesar's Palace was just something very special and significant.
The people's choice was Ray Boom Boom Mancini, a predatory, hard-hitting mover who was defending his WBA lightweight title for the second time. Although his opponent, South Korean Deuk Koo Kim, was not well known in the U.S., he soon proved himself more than worthy to the homegrown favorite.
I knew I was in for war. I knew I was in for a hard, difficult fight. He was fighting for his country. Those were the hardest guys to fight. First punch, he throws a lead left-handed kick to me on the chin. Knocks me back. And it's on. From that moment on, it was on.
It was amazing the shots that both of them took. Ray would take the first half of the round, come out and look like, he would dominate. You'd have that sick feeling in your stomach because Kim would always come back in every round and rally.
Mancini knows he's in there with a tough cut. Another left forward by Kim.
I said, who the f*** is this guy? That's what I said about 10 times. They just pounded each other. It was like two rams going against each other. You didn't have time to even think. It was survival.
It also became obvious during the course of this fight that this was not going to be a fighter who would totally succumb to the pressure of Mancini. He landed so many punches against Kim, and Kim didn't go anywhere. And you started to say to yourself, this is becoming a remarkable story.
What many had expected to be an easy victory for Mancini turned into a brawl reminiscent of the classic battles in the decade following World War II. It featured the likes of Carmen Basilio, Jake LaMotta, and Rocky Graziano. On November 13th, 1982, Mancini got as much as he gave.
In the third round, his ear was torn open. He damaged his left hand very badly in the fourth round. By the middle rounds, his eye was cut and virtually swollen. It required enormous bravery to fight through what he had to fight through.
This is the only fight in my career. Even if I lost, this is the only fight in my career I ever felt like quitting in the middle of the fight.
To me, it was the fight that symbolized Ray Mancini as a fighter more than any other. Tremendous action fight, a long fight, a lot of give and take. Ray Mancini dishing out a lot of punishment and taking a lot of punishment.
You watch the fight and you keep seeing more of the same, which is two guys refusing to quit. And as it goes on, you ask the question with increasing frequency, how long? How long can this go on before one guy breaks?
People began to realize it was something more than an exhibition, something more than a normal prize fight. It was the most well-matched fight I ever saw, which means if they keep applying themselves, there's only one way for it to end.
I'd fight each round like it's life and death. One of us is getting carried out of here tonight. That was my attitude. So I never thought of winning or losing. We would know who the winner is because only one of us is going to be standing.
I think that Ray Mancini has never left Youngstown. I think Ray Mancini will always be a Youngstown guy.
The Youngstown of the 50s and 60s was a absolutely booming town.
All you heard was whistles, pipes banging, trains going. Your father worked in the mill and retired from the mill. Your grandfather worked in the mill and retired from the mill. You were going to work in the mill.
Youngstown, man, it was the best back in the 60s, when the steel mills were booming. This town was vibrant, alive.
Born in the East Ohio steel town in March of 1961, Ray was the youngest of three. His sister Ellen was 13 years older, and his brother Lenny Jr. preceded him by 5 years. His mother was Irish, his father Italian, and he took after both.
He was a tough, scrappy little kid, but always very, very respectful. He has the heart of a lion of the father and a discipline and tenacity of the mother.
Ray was very religious. They went to church each Sunday. They put a premium on hard work, accomplishment, loyalty, and love of family.
Prize fighting didn't come to Ray by chance. His father, Lenny Boom Boom Mancini, was a promising lightweight. In May of 1941, he'd lost a disputed split decision to Sammy Angot. That December, Angot won the world title, and a rematch with Mancini was being negotiated as the U.S. was gearing up for World War II.
Lenny Mancini was a banger, and he was destined to become great before December 7th, 1941.
My father wanted a rematch, of course, but this time for the title. The date was supposed to be February. He got called to the Army. He was drafted, and he was to leave in January.
He got injured bad in the war, and he was laid up in a hospital for like 7 months. Never got to fight the guy.
My father never talked bad about it. Never said, I got a raw deal. Never. But I could see how it pained him, the fact that he never got that opportunity.
If Lenny Mancini wanted to forget what might have been, his younger son had no such notion. Ray grew up living through his father's past.
I'd be in the basement by myself, and I'd have a little flashlight, and I'd see the pictures, and I'd say, man, I want to be that guy.
Ray would read all the articles on his dad and, how he was the uncrowned champion. And just from the time he was a little kid, he had this burning desire. I want to win this championship for my father.
For all of Ray's determination to finish his father's business, it was his brother Lenny Jr. who seemed more talented in the ring and out of it.
Man, he was a handsome son of a gun and charming. And he was a player. All the girls loved him. He liked to live on the edge.
Lenny was the funniest kid I've ever known in my life. He'd give you the shirt off his back, man. Lenny had a wild side about him, no doubt. Ray didn't have that.
What Ray had was a mission and motivation. Borrowing his father's nickname, Boom Boom won 43 of 50 amateur bouts, 23 by knockout. In 1979, fight manager David Wolf deployed trainer Murphy Griffith to find a fresh prospect at the National Golden Gloves tournament.
The first night, he called me, and he said, I've seen a little Rocky Graziano. He's not going to win any amateur titles, but as a pro, he's going to be sensational.
At age 18, Ray left Youngstown for the mean streets of New York with his father's blessing.
My father told me, if you stay here, you'll starve, like I did. I'll never forget, it was September 18, 1979. I was crying like a baby, man. I didn't want to leave. He said, no, you gotta go, you gotta go. I knew I wasn't coming back unless I was successful.